Hey neighbor, we're talking about what you need to be doing in August today. Some of our neighbors to the east of us had some pretty severe storm damage. So we're going to be talking about what you need to be doing in August and how to be preparing for this fall. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Well, I got me some new teeth last week.
Let's see.
New teeth here. New teeth. And I'm having trouble with some of my words.
Can't talk?
I can't talk now. My lips still swell a little bit, not near as bad as it was, but my
Was
lips.
it a bad procedure?
It was 3 hours, but it really wasn't that bad. But my gums has been sore for about a week, real bad sore. But I mean, I pushed through it. 3 hours in the dentist chair is never fun.
Some little birdie told me you went to sleep. It was so bad.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, but they say I did went to sleep. Snoring as well.
During a 3-hour procedure?
Well, I got tired. That's kind of got me a little.
I heard you was scared.
You know, when you sometimes when you jump like that, when you wake up, I caught myself doing that one time. I'm glad he had that drill where you didn't.
Did he have you like mouth propped open? Or
Yeah, they had it propped open, all kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I got temporary crowns there, and about 8 to 10 weeks, he says I get my new permanent teeth. So, I'll be cheesing.
You be cheesing?
I'll be cheesing.
Well, we're gonna teach you how to smile, right?
Yeah, I got to get all through that again. But I'll tell you, I'm still sore where some, still sore. Having trouble with certain words, like preparing, certain things.
Certain things?
Yeah, and what you need to be and what you need to be prepared. Oh my gosh, it's going to be preparing.
New teeth, huh?
Preparing. Anyway, we're going to get through it though.
Okay.
August is the month for me
To reset?
to reset. August is a preparing month for me. Just this morning, I cut my Hickory King corn stalks down. Now, field corn, different from sweet corn. And I'm going to tell you, in case you don't know this, on your sweet corn, as soon as you pull that sweet corn, your stalk is still green. I cut it down immediately, and it's easy to get rid of. However, field corn, we let dry on the stalk. So we're dealing with a dried stalk there, and it's harder to get. I took my flail mower and went there and cut it up this morning. It's harder to get rid of.
Where's the corn?
The corn is in the cooler.
Oh.
It's already been pulled. So I got it in the cooler and letting it dry out just a little bit more. And if there's any weevils in there, we're going to take care of that in the coolers also. And that way we can grind some corn before long. Some Hickory King cornbread and grits. But some of our neighbors, now we got 4 inches first last week from the storm, from the hurricane. And I think there's another one kind of brewing out there. So may be a pretty tough storm season.
There's some high pressure, or I was watching that Ryan Hall. He said we're going to be dry for about a week.
We could use it.
They think that hurricane, the last I saw, which was sometime yesterday, might go on.
Is it a hurricane now or tropical
No, it's
storm?
not even a tropical storm.
Oh, it's
well,
just
it wasn't yesterday
It's just a storm.
when I was watching it.
So we got 4 inches, which really wasn't that bad, but a lot of our neighbors got a lot of rain, a lot of wind. We was just riding over toward the eastern part of Georgia yesterday, Sunday.
Lakeland.
Yeah, and a lot of trees you could tell had been cut off the road, and they got a lot of rain. Some of our friends in North Carolina got 8 inches of rain.
Wow.
Yeah. Peter, my buddy who's been on shows a few times, emailed me and said they got 8 inches of rain, said they really lost a lot of their gardens up there.
Yeah. Megan and Andy, their creek garden, I was watching them yesterday, and part of it's still sitting in water. So that corn he was really counting on.
Yeah. And it's tough on those guys because unlike us, they're in the middle of their harvest season. We done wound down and
that's
moved on,
true.
but they're in the middle of their harvest season.
Yeah.
So what can you do at this point when you got damage? That's what we're going to talk about today. And also for us people on down south that didn't have, or to the west that didn't have damage, what to do, how to reset and move into that. I had a guy email me earlier in the week, a new gardener that's been gardening for about a year now, and he wanted to know, can I take my spring plots that I've got drip tape down on and just leave them there and plant my fall garden there? I said, heck yeah, wonderful strategy. I do that all the time. So you can get double use out of those.
That's how you do your peas, right?
Yeah, you can get double use out of that drip tape. Go in there and clean up from that spring garden and get ready to plant your fall garden. Great strategy. I do that all the time. And I do have some plots I go in and rework, but my peas I'm gonna plant next week. And I'm gonna plant it right where my sweet corn's at on same drip tape. So I'll be ready for that. And then if I can keep the rabbits off of it, we'll have a good pea crop this fall.
I got chickens, neighbors' chickens.
Neighbors' chickens has invaded the potager garden.
They have. I've pulled everything up. I amended and put mulch down. So there's not anything out there. I really don't mind them scratching around.
Eating the bugs.
Eating the bugs. I do not mind that. I wish they would go there and eat some worms.
Yeah.
Because I'm still having.
But you know, you could very well have some damage. You get some fresh stuff coming up. So we're going to have a talk with the neighbor about the chickens.
Or Maggie is falling down on her job.
Maggie is not doing a good job. The other morning, I got up and was drinking my coffee outside, and I heard something. And I looked over there, and them chickens was within 5 feet of me. Right there in the grass area.
And Maggie just.
And I looked over there, and Maggie was 5 feet to the other side. And she just looked up and looked at them, laid her head back down. Got to have a talk with Maggie
Jane.
Now, I don't know what
You got to get better.
You got to get better, Maggie Jane. You got a job to perform around here.
Are you listening? You got to get rid of those chickens.
At least keep them chased off, okay?
She said, okay.
All right.
Go back to sleep.
Yep.
No, somebody's been letting Maggie in the house, and she's not out there to.
At night time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maggie likes to sleep next to me in her little
Somebody
dog bed.
let her in during the storms.
And it's become a habit now, so I've got a new bedfeller. She doesn't sleep in the bedroom. She sleeps on the floor in her doggy bed, but she'll wander around sometimes. But she does love to come in. Maggie Jane.
Do you know what this is?
Those are garlic blooms and strawberry fields.
If anybody knows or has any recipes for garlic chives, send them to support@growhouse.com or put them in the comments. It just seems like they're so fragrant. It's got to be something you could do with them.
Those are garlic chive blooms. Okay.
Yeah. I've got a bunch that haven't opened up yet. I don't know that I put them in here. But I'm thinking that's what you use before they. Like right there, you can see where they're opening up.
And you got a true bug right there.
Uh-oh, what is that?
That's a little miniature true bug or stink bug. Stink bugs have been really bad around here the last couple of weeks. A lot of insect pressure. Worms on our pecan trees, I noticed yesterday. So.
Yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, let's get into talking about.
So one thing you can plant is your brassicas.
Yeah, so we say brassicas, we're talking about cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, any of those. Now, the ones that you want to concentrate on right now is the ones that we need to transplant. So if you want to grow you some cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and all that, it's a perfect time to plant them right now. 4 to 5 weeks, growing them out, and then we transplant them out into the garden.
So these areas that maybe got hit by the rain and their garden's gone, but they don't have time to plant seeds.
Well, they don't have the wherewithal to plant the seeds.
Right.
We're going to have some brassica plugs available next month. We hadn't never done this before in the fall. We're doing it in the fall this year. And the ones we're going to have, we'll go over these right here. And I'm going to talk about days to maturity. I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to explain days to maturity to you. Days to maturity on a seed packet means when that plant or seed goes into the ground. It does not account for the greenhouse time. It only accounts for when it goes into the ground. We don't make these rules, that's just the way the rules are. So when you see days to maturity and you're doing a transplant, it's when that time that transplant goes in the ground. If you was to plant direct seed, the same exact thing is from the time it goes into the ground. So, all right, Blue Ridge kale is going to be one of the kales that we sell. Now, Blue Ridge kale, although may not be my favorite, is the most popular kale we sell.
It's the crinkledy one.
It's the crinkled one. It has that bluish look to it. Pretty. It's easy to wash. Lacinato is actually my favorite, but Blue Ridge kale is the is the kale we're going to have 65 days to maturity, so you got plenty of time. Even you guys in zone 6 and 7 are going to have plenty of time to make kale. And it will take a little cold weather, so you're going to be good there.
Now, if you order these plugs, it says on the website, but we had a caller this morning. She's like, I don't need to plant mine until the end of September. Can you wait and ship them? Well, we're going to have them for how many weeks?
Yeah, so we're going. The way this is going to work is we've got inventory in there now for the first week. September 9th is going to be the first week we start shipping, and then every week after that we will update inventory. We're going to have these in here, I think, for either 5 or 6 weeks. So all the way through the first or mid of October, we're going to have them available. We'll just, being as they are live plants, we never know what's going to happen with live plants. We do have to update inventory every week. So we should have them for a good 5 or 6 weeks. You're just not going to be able to pre-buy until about a week before. So, all right, stonehead cabbage is another one we're going to have 70 days to maturity. Cabbage likes a little cold weather, so you got plenty of time if you plant them in September for them to make.
Right, they can handle some frost.
Oh yeah. Stonehead's a hybrid cabbage. It's considered one of the easiest to grow, and it's resistant to a lot of different diseases that crack and splitting. And it's a medium-sized head, around 4 to 6 pounds of stonehead. Green magic broccoli, which is probably one of the most popular broccolis out there, and the reason is it's got really good heat tolerance to it. We're going to have those 55 days to maturity. We're going to have those plants available.
And once you harvest that original head, these grow little.
Then we'll have some sprouts on here. Not a lot, but you can get a second and third little harvest off of it. And then our twister cauliflower. Now, twister cauliflower takes a little bit longer, 70 days maturity, but if you plant them in this fall, even you guys, zone 7, 8, shouldn't have any problem whatsoever planting those. Because if it gets a little cold on them, they're just going to be that much better. These brassicas need just a little bit of cold on them. 70 days maturity. And the twister, if you've never grown it before, you're going to really love this variety because it gets its name for those leaves twisting around that head and protecting that head from the sunlight. So that's a great one right there. And then we've got top bunch collards. Now, top bunch collards is 50 days to maturity, and these are some of those things that you can cut, come again. You can actually just harvest the leaves off of these right here, like just crop the leaves, and they'll last for a long time. And we know our collards taste better if they get a little cold on them. 50 days to maturity, so you could plant these on up in the 1st October easily.
Could you plant some 1st of September and then plant another round?
You can toward the late or toward the 1st of October. So you could have the succession planting there 2 to 4 weeks apart.
Sounds good. So that's the plugs we have. We also have the seed if you want to plant from seed. Other things.
Just really before you get through, the variations on these plugs are going to be 10 plugs, 20 plugs, 40 plugs, or 100 plugs. Or you can get a bundle where we get 10 plugs of each one. So you can go check out there at the...
So you get 50 plugs in the bundle.
Yep, 10 of each.
Okay.
All right.
Direct seeding. What can we direct seed in August, or do we need to wait?
Man, I tell you what, I'm just a believer in getting prepared and wait. I think the ideal time for a lot of this direct seeding is going to be around the 1st of September. So get everything ready, and come 1st September, just be ready to go with it. Mustard, turnips, spinach, all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be better if we wait and get a little bit cooler nights. Now, something if you've never grown before, I want you to try this fall is Savannah mustard. Savannah mustard is a little bit on the pricey side because it is a hybrid seed, but it's a combination between a spinach and a mustard. So it doesn't have that strong flavor to it. It has that real silky.
Is that what we have in the seed tape?
No, that's not what we have in the seed tape. But it has a real silky, the Savannah, we've grown it for the last 5 or 6 years. It's one of my favorites. It's got a silky texture to it.
One of my beds, I've started getting ready for my carrots.
So we can move into seed tape. So all the seed tapes that we have is going to be ideal for you to plant again the 1st of September there. Every one of those varieties we got in the seed tape lends itself well to a fall planting. Those white Lisbon bunch of onions did wonderful for me back during the springtime. Beets, radishes,
Spinach.
spinach.
Seed tape did really well.
Yeah, all those are just going to be wonderful. So I'm going to use those in my raised beds. I may actually plant some in ground too. I got a couple plots I've still got to get worked up.
Let's move on to another thing you can do, and we have this ready for pre-order too, is garlic. Garlic is the easiest thing to grow.
Elephant garlic for us.
Yeah.
Now we got some hard neck, soft neck varieties for you guys on up north. Now up down here in zone 9, it's tougher for us to grow garlic, and I don't by no means guarantee that you're gonna make a wonderful crop because it's dependent upon how much cold
My
weather we have.
garlic did not do well last year.
No, some years when we have a harder winter, our garlic does better, but we can always depend on elephant garlic.
Yeah.
So now you guys is on 6 and 7, y'all afforded the right to be able to grow really great garlic. And garlic is one of the most popular things to grow in the garden in the off season. So we got all that for pre-sale. We got several different hardneck and
We got
one softneck
yeah.
variety.
So we got the elephant garlic, which is actually a leek. We got German white, which is hardneck.
It's actually an organic. That's the only organic garlic we got, but it is organic. Yep.
Chestnut red, which is a hardneck. Ichilum red, which is a soft neck.
Which does a little bit better on further south.
Purple hardneck. Did we have that last year?
We did.
We did. It's a Creole type that gets its name from the purple skin.
Yep.
And then we got German red, which is a hardneck.
And one of the most popular ones is music,
Yeah,
which is a hardneck.
yeah. And we sell all of them in 4, 10, 20, and 50 bulb variations.
Except for the German white, it's sold by pounds.
Yeah.
Because we get it from a different vendor. So we got all garlic ready to go out there and look at. I wished I could grow all different kinds. I would
I
love.
tried last year, and
Yeah. If you guys that live above Atlanta, I'm gonna say above Atlanta, Birmingham, draw your line across there. Yeah, man, y'all should be growing garlic. Yep.
onions are going to be coming next week.
It's gonna be a
Pre-sale?
little bit later. Strawberries, a little bit later. We're in a. Believe it or not, we didn't even planted our onions yet. We're gonna plant our onions in September, but we'll have them for pre-sale the 1st of September. We're growing some different varieties this year for onion plants. We got big plans for onion plants this year.
So hang on.
Hang on for that. But we got strawberries gonna start pre-selling. They've already started pre-selling.
They've already started pre-selling. And we have a new option this year. So before, we've only done them in the 50
Trays.
trays and the 100 trays. This year, popular demand, we're selling in tins.
Yep.
So
So if you just need 10 plants, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull them out of the trays because they root in really well. And we're gonna loose pack these plugs just like we do our other things and send them to you. Strawberry plants are very resilient, so it should be fine, should be no problem. But if you guys out there just got those
green stalks.
green stalks, yep, you don't
we're-
have to order 50.
And we're offering 2 more varieties this year.
Yeah, we got Chandler, which is the variety we've had for a long period of time. I think Chandler's probably one of the easiest ones to grow. And we got Carmarosa, which is a larger fruit and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a little bit sweeter flavor. I've never grown it before. And then we got Sweet Charlie. Sweet Charlie is,
I like that name.
yeah, I do too. It's supposed to be a really, really sweet one there. So excited to plant some of those other varieties this year. If it beats Chandler, I don't know what's going to happen because Chandler's a wonderful variety.
Well, can you plant these in the same bed
Sure,
so they won't cross-pollinate?
I think so.
Okay.
Self-pollinating.
Self-pollinating.
Yep.
I'm excited. I've got one bed. I'm going to actually put strawberries in a bed this year.
I'm gonna plant my strawberries in a lazy garden place. So I'm gonna pull up one of where I had cantaloupes. I grew some cantaloupes. I'm gonna pull that lazy garden up. I'm gonna work that so I'm gonna incorporate some compost and some complete organic fertilizer. I'm gonna lay it back down and I'm gonna plant the whole thing in strawberries.
Different varieties.
Different varieties. Do my own little test there.
Might need to have a biggest strawberry competition.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about herbs, because we got some herbs that love to be planted when it cools off just a little bit. We got plenty of time for those. Now you're the herb lady out of the
yeah.
bunch.
So once you plant these herbs, I had the community garden in Sylvester. gosh, I can't remember her name. She came by earlier asking about what herbs to plant. So I've got tarragon planted. Now I planted them all from seed last year. And I've got them in an area that's kind of protected so they come back every year. So oregano, tarragon, of course your rosemary, your lavender, even sage you can plant right now.
And what about some of these quick growing?
Oh, now the quick growing. Cilantro, I'm going to actually start some cilantro today. It loves, even though you think of it in the summertime with salsa, it loves the cold weather. And also dill is great to plant right now.
Cilantro is good, but it bolts pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I would recommend planting another plant in there every 2 weeks if you want a steady supply of cilantro because it matures out.
Dill takes 45 days. And it can take a little bit of frost as well as the cilantro. So I think you got plenty of time. But don't forget about those perennial herbs that's going to come back every year. If you haven't started your herb bed, now's the time.
Yep, good time of the year to do that. All right, and of course you still got time to plant you some dead gum buckwheat. I just got buckwheat coming up in one of my plots out there. Buckwheat's one of those kinds that fills that short-term gap there. So if you're planning on planting something in October and you need something to fill that gap to them, buckwheat is wonderful for that right there.
Also your black oil sunflowers.
Yep, those would work good too. They're not quite as easy to get rid of as buckwheat, but they'll work good too.
And zinnias.
Zinnias, yep.
Direct seed you some zinnias.
Yep. Yep, we've got plenty of time to make zinnias. So there's some things you can be doing now, but the biggest takeaway you need to think about is preparation for 1st of September, when we all just bust loose with our garden.
Get those beds ready for those onions, strawberries, garlic.
Yep. Seed tape, all that. All right, so let's talk about Garden Spotlight of the Week because this is a good one right here.
This was sent in by Mitchell Patterson, West Virginia, Zone 6.
Yep.
He has a backyard garden that's very productive. We love your products. It's been the best garden thanks to your products. So he's got...
Look at that big old head of cabbage he's got there. Now the great thing Mitchell can do that we can't is he can grow these cabbages and stuff really well in the summertime.
In the summer.
We grow them in the fall and early spring. But he has made a wonderful garden right there.
Beets.
Yep. Onions.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Looks like his tomatoes still got a little maturing out to do. Of course, he's got squash and carrots and all that thing. Mitchell, you did a great job. I'm still envious of that big old head of cabbage right there.
That's bigger than his head.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, and the old goat, folks, we've got the old goat figurine on the set here somewhere. He kind of rambles around a little bit. Today he's kind of standing out nice and proud. If you find the old goat, put it in the comments below. Next week, we'll do a drawing for this week's winner. Last week's winner is Zach Covert. Zach Covert. We'll get your last name right there, Zach. Send us your shipping information to
support@growhalls.com. And last week we talked about seed saving.
Yep.
And so everybody that commented about seed saving, what they saved or what they would like, we did the random drawing, and Scotty White is the winner
of the book. Pretty cool book. Now I will say it's a little on the. It's great for beginners.
Great for beginners.
It's not the most advanced, but it's easy reading. It's easy to understand.
Easy. It's actually 10 books in one, so you can kind of pick it up, lay it down, pick it up, lay it down. And
so Scotty, send us your shipping address, and we'll get that sent out to you.
Also, reminder: Petals from the Past meet and greet is September 14th in Jemison, Alabama. This is a free event, but they would like for you to register, let them know that you're coming, just so they can get a head count for bathrooms, food trucks, and that kind of stuff. It's
a wonderful weekend getaway. Now, I know you guys, it's within a day's drive. It's an easy decision to make. But you know what? It's okay if you make hotel reservations to go over and plan on spending a day or a couple of days. We stay really close by the motel. I mean, it was within 2 miles. So there is some motels close by. It's worth the trip to visit the Petals to the Past Garden Center. much less everything else that's going on. If you're interested in fruit trees, grapevines, blackberries, and everything like that, Jason and his father are the gurus at that right there. They got more information than anybody I know of as far as growing fruit trees and anything like that here in the South. Apple trees. They're experts at being able to grow southern apple varieties.
Oh yeah, Jason did Jason from Cog Hill did a video, was it last week, on his fruit trees, and I was green with envy.
You know what I'm envious of? And I think I'm going to plant some Asian pears.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Asian pears.
He just sat there and
Yeah.
just,
But it's worth the trip, folks, there. So think about September 14th, visiting Pedals to the Past.
yeah, they're having kid classes, educational demos, a lot of homesteading stuff and crafts, as well as the nursery there.
Yep. All right. Thank you for joining us. August is the month of preparation. Get out there and get everything prepared because we're going to be on the fall bandwagon of gardening. We're going to be all pumped up and want to plant everything you can think of in the next few weeks. When you feel that first little cool weather that morning when you get up, it's time to plant. Thank you for joining us, and get out there and get those hands dirty.